What's up, everybody? Crash here. Welcome back to Crash Against the Spread, where we talk about sports from a betting perspective. It is Wednesday, May 22nd, and we have one NBA playoff game to talk about. We are coming off a win on our play today yesterday. We had two picks. We had the Pacers plus 10, and we had the over 221.5. They went to overtime, so obviously the over hit. And obviously they were tied going into overtime, so the Pacers were actually up 3 before 3 made by it was Jaylen Brown. I think it was a Jaylen Brown 3 at the end of regulation to go to overtime at 117. So the over had hit then, and I was pretty confident the Pacers wouldn't lose by 10 in overtime. So they lost by 5. So good win, Pacers plus 10 for our first play of the conference finals. But on to today, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves hosting the Dallas Mavericks as 4.5-point favorites. Their regular season meetings, they met 4 times. It was kind of skewed. Minnesota won 3 of the 4. Dallas covered 2 times out of the 4. One of those being the time that they won. But the teams were different. Teams are actually the same for the Timberwolves, but the teams are different for the Mavericks. They hadn't traded for Washington and Gafford yet, and that's part of the reason that they're here right now. So one of these games, the big blowout in the last game, Kyrie and Luka didn't play. Minnesota was 13-point favorites. Usually they would get a -2, +2 kind of number. The total now is sitting at 206. That's because of the increase in defense that Gafford and Washington bring with the rest of the team. Throughout the season, they were playing numbers like 221, 234, 228, somewhere around there. So they were 2-8 to the under in their last 10 games head-to-head, but these players haven't been the same. So we can almost throw out the regular season stats and just make a educated guess on what we think is going to happen in this game 1. So seeing how the Timberwolves played the Nuggets, I don't want to bet overs. This is the number where I think it can go over, this 206 number. Like I said, all during the season they were playing lower or higher point totals, and they were going under, but they were going under 234 and under 228. So Dallas has lost their first game of the series each. Game 1 under Jason Kidd, actually. But they've obviously pulled together and won most of those series going to the finals. So looking at the injury report, Doncic is probable. Conley is questionable. I'm going to go Minnesota minus the 4.5 and small lean to the over. This is the only game I'm willing to do it in. I don't think Luka and Kyrie are going to be shut down tonight, and I can see a situation where the game starts slow and picks up in the second half. So I am going to still lean to the over. And I'm going to also lean towards Minnesota, the first game, off the trend that the Mavericks like to make adjustments throughout the series. So Timberwolves and the over is going to be my pick, my lean. Lock that in. Let's get this money, and we're going to be back tomorrow to talk about the Boston game again.